And it was a 3-month project that happened last year. Sorry, it was January to May, so it was about a 5-month project last year. And we worked with an author, Hilary Keating, and my year 5s and 6s obviously had the laptops, the netbooks, but we took them over to reception and we worked with the children there. So it was a case of my children had only just got them in the January, even though they'd been in school since September, they'd only had them in the January working and running and access to them, so they hadn't had them long at all. And they would take them over to reception, and the activities they did was they would sort of be interviewing the children and writing down their responses, and then they were taking photographs of the children in the groups. Let's have a picture together, let's show the work we've been doing together, you were in my team, let's have a photograph. And then they got the reception children to take photographs, and of course they picked it up really quickly. And then they did some writing, some story writing together, but they used the reception children's ideas. So they were typing as the reception child was sort of telling them, you know, sort of narrating the story to them. They were typing it up on the netbooks as well, which for some children they found was much quicker than actually writing and making notes. It was easier for them to type straight onto the netbook, because I think a lot of our children find it much faster to type rather than to write now. A lot of them are more comfortable with doing that. And there's less of a worry, I think, for them in terms of spelling mistakes and errors like that. They know whatever they've typed up, they can go back later and, well, that needs changing, that needs, you know, that's underlined in red, that must be a spelling mistake. They can go back and do that. Whereas when they're writing, they're so conscious of checking what they're doing. So that was great. And then over the course of the 5 months, all the stories that they did were obviously published using the netbooks. Any research that they did was through the netbooks. They shared other types of writing, so for example one pupil could see what another pupil had been doing, they could send them to them via email, and we also had a blog, an ongoing blog, just to report on the progress of the project, so they used the netbooks for that as well. So it was all combined and used as much as possible and as effectively as possible.